Up next, we have Luciana Turner, and she is with LT Consulting Group, and we're going to talk all about government contracts, so stick around. Welcome back. I am your host, Alicia Currie, and this is Small Business Saturday Shout Out. And today's guest is Luciana Turner she is the CEO, President, and Chief Consultant of L&T Consulting Group. And let me tell you a little bit about her. Ms. Turner has worked in government contracting for over 20 years. She started her company to fill a gap in the industry around proper contracting awareness. She brings her years of experience and services to her clients with real-world knowledge surrounding the rules of contracting, but how to build, grow, and sustain your contracting company. So I am so excited to welcome to the show Miss Luciana Turner. Hello, good evening.
Hello, how are you doing?
I am wonderful. And I am so excited to have you on Small Business Saturday Shout Out because it's actually Small Business Saturday and everybody should be shopping small businesses today. So let's talk a little bit about what you do specifically for other boutique consulting businesses, especially around government contracting.
What I do is I instruct, I coach, I train small businesses operating within or entering in the government space. Far too often, businesses enter the B2G space trying to do business as though they're talking to a consumer or to another business. And that is not what you do. Mm-hmm. So they come into the space and they bump their heads and they're like a bull in the china cabinet.
I'm going to say that. Like a bull, because, especially if you've done B2B, you think it should be exactly the same. If you're answering an RFP from a B2B standpoint, it should be the same as B2G.
And it isn't. And it differs from agency to agency. So if you don't answer correctly, you're non-responsive, they won't even read it.
Wow.
If you don't, if you're not timely, they won't read it. If you don't do it the way they tell you to do it, they won't read it. and it infuriates me, and I have to work on that. Because I see talented people that can cure a problem, but their problem is they want to operate in the government space like it's everywhere else. And you have to respect the industry you're in.
That's so true. So someone like me, for instance, I'll use myself as an example, who is not very detail oriented and not good with rules. Hello. I need someone like you to help me navigate this, because I would be someone who would try to get into the B2G space like I am in the B2B space. And that's just not going to work.
No.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm not in B2G yet. Because I know that there are very specific things that you have to follow, and I need to make sure that I have someone like yourself who can do the due diligence to respond to these RFPs in a way that's going to be successful, because I know I just can't do it. I won't be able to do it.
And that's one of the things I do. I come in and do a compliance review. Are you compliant? Are you compliant ready? And a lot of companies will say, yes, I am. No, you're not.
No, you're not. You are for other companies, but you're not for government.
You're not for government. And quite as it kept, you're not compliant ready for companies in some instances. But because you're not detail oriented in those responses, it doesn't show.
Mm-hmm.
And because you're not audited on that side in the way you're audited in the government, it's not caught as readily. Which is why you have these big articles coming out This company was caught doing something, and we're all sitting here like, well, what took them so long? Because they're not reviewed over there. They
Mhm.
get caught in the government space quicker because the reviews are quicker
Right. Wow.
versus in the B2C and the B2B space. And I tell my clients all the time, or prospective clients, you can pay me now and do it right, or you can pay me more to fix it on the back end.
That's your choice.
Your choice.
I love it. So that rolls me right into, what is your superpower?
Oh my God, I can see what you. I have this eye to see things that you don't see. I, a perfect example, I was in a call with a prospective client and he was explaining his program. And I stopped him and I asked three questions. And he was sitting there dumbfounded because he never saw it.
Mm.
And he was like, uh, and his partner was like, my feelings are hurt. Because they were just so sure that their program was tight. In their three questions, I revealed to them how it wasn't as tight as they thought it was.
Hmm.
It wasn't as ready as they thought it was. And I wasn't trying to hurt their feelings, but they were just so sure. I was like, well, then you can answer these three questions.
Right.
And they couldn't.
And it's because you have over 20 years of experience doing this. So you know exactly what it is that needs to happen.
And the funny thing is, my experience comes from working with people who had 40 years experience.
Mm.
I got thrown to the wolves when I entered government contracting. I, I was literally, my first foray in government contracting auditing was putting together incurred cost submission. The
Mhm.
girl was supposed to teach me, and what she did, she literally handed me a stack of papers this thick and said, this is this is that. Okay. And she left because she
Oh,
was starting a new job
oh,
at another company. And
oh,
I was sitting there like,
what, what?
how? How did you even get this report? Wait a minute. So I had to put together the submission, which we had 6 months to do. Okay. Not a lot of time in government speak because this was $1 billion company.
Wow.
And I couldn't even run the first report until March because we had to close out the year for $1 billion company, a
Wow.
multi-billion-dollar company. So I did it by June 30th because the government would not give us an extension, submitted it, found out I did it wrong, but that was okay because I learned, first thing I learned was as long as you fix it before the government finds it,
Yeah.
it's not an audit finding. So since I figured it out, I did it wrong, I was able to fix
You're
it.
able to fix it. Nice.
But it took me 6 months to fix it.
On the job training. That's like, yeah, that's tough on the job training. And, losing a contract like that for a multi-billion dollar company is not fun. I'm sure.
But what was even worse was my manager, when I fixed it, turned it, he knew I did it wrong.
And
He
didn't
was just
say
waiting
anything.
for me to say I did it wrong.
Uh,
But he was actually impressed with the fact that I figured it out on my own and
and then
fixed it.
fixed it. Nice. So you see, this is someone who is working for you on your side that knows what not to do because they've done it, and then knows how to fix it because they've done it too. So, and you actually taught a master class for our Small Business Saturday shout out community. So thank you for doing that, because you taught a master class on submitting for government contracting, what it is you need to know and how you need to be set up before the submission. So thank you. Before you even look at submitting, what it is your company needs to have and do. So let me ask this question, because you have some MasterClasses coming up yourself and some other really great workshops and things. So before you tell everybody about that, I want to know what are some really quick, what are some quick tips that you can share with our audience about submitting for government contracting successfully?
Open your emails. That was something I noticed in my last summit, that people have a tendency to, I'll open them all later. And it's a habit that translates into government contracting. And somebody's saying to themselves, well, that's not a big deal. Yes, it is. Because each day the government can be submitting a change that if you wait until the last minute can cost you the contract. So get into the habit of reading your emails, all emails, even the ones you deem not important.
Open your emails. What's the second tip?
Don't think you know it all. Even if you think the answer being given is the most elementary answer, that is where a lot of companies go wrong. They answer the most basic question wrong.
Wrong. Ooh. Give me an example if you can think of one.
The government allowed electronic submission of a proposal. So everybody submitted the electronic submission. It had to be PDF, not Word. But the assumption was it could be anything. So everybody who submitted Word file was automatically deleted and disqualified.
Tough.
Simple instruction.
Tough rule. Yep. Submit PDF. That's easy. That's easy. Just convert it to a PDF. And do you have? I know you gave the example of when you were thrown to the wolves, but do you have kind of a success story of a client that you've worked with that maybe did it wrong the first time and then came to you and you were able to fix it?
I had a client that wanted to give up. They didn't want to bid again. So I kind of talked them into bidding on the contract. Now, they didn't win because they didn't take the coaching. But I talked them into doing a debrief, which is the government in most cases will allow you or tell you what you did wrong. It's called a debrief after the fact. Okay. And when we sat through the debrief, everything the government told them was what I had told them before they submitted.
Wow. Do you find these contracts for your clients to bid on, or is it something that they come to you with, or do you do both?
Both. I actually have a subscription that will allow me to source RFPs for my clients. And then I have clients who source their own RFPs.
Nice. So tell us about the class that you have coming up and the workshop and all the goodies that you have going on.
I actually have a class coming up and an ebook that releasing for Cyber Monday called Before the RFP. How to create a solid contracting company. If you don't want to take the class, get the ebook, and then you're going to decide to take the class. So it doesn't matter. And if you sign up for the class, you get the ebook.
Anyway, right? Awesome.
I'm actually doing a summit on the first of the year where we're going to talk about the compliance factor. 7 key things compliance-wise every government contract should be doing.
I can't wait. You know, I'm not in the government space, but as soon as I'm ready to get into the government space, I know who I'm calling first because I don't have the time to fuss around and fiddle around with this and getting it wrong and doing all this. I know I just don't have the time to do that. I will go directly to you when I'm ready to go and get into the government space. In fact, I'm gonna schedule a consultation with you to figure out what it is I need to do, what I need to know before I even consider getting into the government space. And then when I'm ready, you're my girl.
Oh, cool. Can I give like a third tip to your
You
audience? And then,
absolutely can give a third tip.
now this tip is wrapped in a fact. Government contracting, a proposal costs you roughly 10% of the contract value. So if you're going after a $25,000 contract, the proposal effort costs you roughly $2,000 to $3,000. So government contracting can be expensive if you do it right. Can you imagine what happens if you're doing it wrong?
Wrong. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That is huge. So, yes. So, you don't want to do it wrong if the proposal costs 10% of the value of the contract. You're going to be out a lot of money if you keep getting it
Yes.
wrong. So, you might as well hire someone who knows what they're doing to help you get it right. So, you do win the bid and you do win the contract and recoup that money that you spent in um, in getting the RFP together to send in. Just one other quick question: what usually entails that cost in the RFP?
Labor,
It's a labor cost, a lot of labor.
consultants, printing, shipping. I'm going to answer that question this way. If you're not tracking the cost, you're automatically doing it wrong.
Ooh, boom! And on that note, we're out of time. But wow, listen, you have a course coming up. Do you have dates for that people can um, can connect with?
The ebook will be out. Actually, the ebook is out Cyber Monday. The training course is out January 13th is when we're holding the course, training course. It's 2 days before the RFP. It's January 13th and 14th. I did it 2 days because I did not want to overload people.
Right.
My training schedule is up on my website, LT&A You're going to see the before the RFP coming out, and my new training. Well, it's not really new, but my new training class or group of classes, Sustain a Core, is coming out in February. And you really want to be in that if you're going to do government contracting and do it right.
All right. So go to the website, ltnagroup.com. You can contact Luciana, just DM her on Instagram. It's
Yes.
LT&A Consulting Group on Instagram. Just send her a DM, tell her you saw her on Small Business Saturday Shout Out, or SBSSO, however you want to write it. Tell her you saw her and you want more information on her consulting to help you land these massive, very lucrative government contracts for your company, for your small consulting firm. She can help you get those deals. It's not really a deal, but you help you get the work, help you get the contract for work with the government. So thank you so much, Luciana. And don't forget Cyber Monday. She has her ebook live on Cyber Monday. So go check that out as well on her website. This is her website again. It's ltnagroup.com. Thank you.
Thank you.